So if you're a student thinking about going to college, the first thing to ask yourself is, am I really ready to go? So you do want to spend some time thinking about what interests you in terms of the classes you have taken in high school. But I think we also have to be realistic and say that you don't know everything yet. And being able to pick your life's work when you're 17 or 18 is pretty difficult. Don't feel bad if you aren't sure exactly what you want to do when you're 18, because frankly, nobody does. So the first thing to remember is that there's a lot of choices and that you could back up and change to some other direction later on, that your first degree is not necessarily your last exposure to college. Think about the location of where you want to go. You may feel that you've always wanted to go to Australia, let's say. It could be a very different experience, and if you've never been outside Singapore, it's a lot to pile on at once. The last thing to think about initially is how much of it is because you're doing what your friends are doing. If you are a student thinking about college, the big thing is to figure out what makes sense for me. A four-year degree can be a great thing. It provides you the kinds of deep skills and basic skills that could be useful in all kinds of things later on, including in the business world. If you don't like that kind of thinking very much, you can do very well with some hands-on degrees that are shorter. The current view has been that once you leave college, you're prepared for a lifetime of work, and that's not true. The skills you need continue to change. We want to think longer term in terms of developing the skills that matter later on. Things that employers all say they want in the long term, and I think educators believe the same thing. As it turns out, the grades actually don't predict very much about who succeeds in the job market. These other things seem to matter much more. So there are a fair amount of studies in the US and in Europe as well about what employers say they want. Experiences, things that you have done that they believe have taught you tangible skills. The most important of these is, have you ever had an internship or a summer job? Have you ever had any work experience? Have you done things on your college campus that might look like work? I think the general way to get your hands around all this information is that you have a portfolio that you're creating. And the portfolio is how you're going to be judged. If you leave something out completely, it's going to hurt you. So you could be the smartest kid in your class, and if you can't get along with other people, it's not going to help you very much in the long run.